So welcome everyone to the Optimizing Your Patient Journey with Dental4Windows webinar. My name is Ogier. I'm the training supervisor here at Centaur Software. You probably heard my very strong Brazilian accent throughout the last 11 years that I've been with Centaur, but I'll try to speak slowly so everyone can hear. Here with me as well, I have my two colleagues, Rebecca and Linda. So Rebecca, can you please introduce yourself?
So hi everyone, my name is Rebecca and currently at Centaur I work in the marketing department.
And Linda?
Hi, I'm Linda and I work in the training department.
Beautiful. So Linda works with our e-service products and also with National Dental Plan. And Rebecca, it's our lovely marketing person that put all these marketing for you guys in the EDMs and promotions and so on. So just keep an eye on all the emails that we're sending out with communications. Okay. So before I start, I will just go with a little bit of housekeeping. So this webinar is being recorded and I will share the recording probably tomorrow or the day after. So just hang in there if you want to listen to this again. Everyone is on the listen mode, but please feel free to write on the chat or on the Q&A. At the end, we would ask a few questions as well and we'll follow up anything that you guys want to know about it. So just to start here is just a quick agenda. So we're going to be talking a little bit on appointment scheduling. Then the arrival, what can we do when the patient arrived and how the software and the products that we have within Centaur can help that. Then we're going to go into clinical, how the patient checked out and reminders. Okay, and just remember we're keeping this within the patient journey. I will be doing a webinar in February on Dental4Windows patient journey on a clinical side, what you should be doing when the patient comes and the clinical would create a new chart, treatment plan and so on, and another one in front desk. Okay, so just keep an eye on that for next year. And I think that slide is with you, Rebecca. Take away.
Perfect. Okay, so with your appointment scheduling, we're going to look at different areas such as your website. So what we do recommend from Centaur is that with your website, you do have some form of online bookings, just because of the changes with how people interact with different businesses now, especially with bookings. They like to be able to go online in their own time and make that appointment online with you. We'll also look at e-appointments with the Patient Discovery Network and how you can get new patients to come in via our partnered appointment directories. We'll look at automated new patient welcome packs and also how you can automate your appointment confirmations within the practice with your patients. Okay, so first we're going to have a look at online bookings. So the online bookings that is integrated with your Dental4Windows is our e-appointment service. And that allows your patients to book their appointments anytime with you 24/7, 365 days of the year. So the great thing about e-appointments is that it does allow you to choose when you want to show, like what times you want to show from your appointment book online. So if you want to do block out sections in the morning, you can make that time available in the morning only for online bookings, or you can make it all of the free space in your appointment book. With e-appointments, we also have a service called the Patient Discovery Network, which is free to activate with your e-appointments, and it allows you to have access to 1.6 million new patients who are potentially looking for appointments with a dentist. So some of the network partner network people that we have at the moment are My Health First, dentalfind.com.au, For those who have National Dental Plan, you can be listed on the National Dental Plan website and also the HUM website. And with those, if people have pre-approved HUM digital wallets, they may be looking to pay for their treatment via a payment plan. So that's a good way to get new appointments through them as well. And if you are a Members Choice Advantage practice with Medibank, we also use their booking service as well through our patient discovery. So they're all integrated with Dental4Windows. And just like with your Dental4Windows product, all of our online bookings are secure. So we don't share any of your patient information with a third party. It's all kept within your own Dental4Windows database. Okay, so e-appointments is something that you should be thinking about, especially now that people who are in the workforce, 40% of those people are millennials who are working and making decisions for their families. So they are likely to be using online services a little bit more than your older clients. But e-appointments is definitely something that can enhance your patient journey, especially at the start of that.
Yeah, something with our online booking system is you'd have the same support team that you have for Dental4Windows, you'd have for e-appointments. So it's one company that you're dealing with. All our support team is here in Australia, so you'll be dealing with someone here, you pick up the phone and you'll be calling and speaking with someone here, okay, which I think it's quite important for us to mention these days.
Yeah, definitely, Anna.
Let me see, I'm trying to, yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay, so within Dental4Windows as well, you can set up automation. So there's a lot of different ways that automation can be used within the program, but one of them that some practices do forget is the welcome pack. So once you sign up a new client and in their appointment, it has the status of N for new patient, you can run an automation to pull those people out in queries, I believe, and send them professionally designed communications to welcome them to your practice. So you can see that on the right hand side there, that's one of our templates that we use with Dental4Windows marketing. And it allows you to personalize it for your practice with your logo, with all of your patients' information. And we also have the ability to put in maps to your practice as well. So it gives your new patient all of the information that they need about your practice and also what is expected of them possibly before coming into the practice for the first time as well. So getting those that communication with all of the services and possibly any information that they need to bring with them for the first appointment, that is a good way to welcome your patient and introduce yourselves, because that first communication is the first impression that they are going to have with you. So we'll look more into Dental4Windows marketing a bit later, but with this service as well, along with e-appointments, which I did forget to mention, is that for your first month when you sign up for this service, it is free. So that's a special promotion that we are running at the moment. Okay, so now that the patient has, before their first appointment, now it's time for them to arrive at the practice. So we're going to look at an option for patient check-in other than checking in with one of your reception staff. We're going to look at the automated notification to the provider on arrival. We're also going to have a look at your electronic forms with automatic updating of your Dental4Windows software and patient education in the waiting room. So with your patient check-in, we have a service called Dental4Windows Sarah. So Sarah is meant to be your receptionist's best friend, and it helps them check the patient into the practice without you having to interact with them. So it's basically an iPad that is at the front desk or near the door, and the patient will go in and check themselves in for their appointment. You'll see from the blow up there that a icon will go into your Dental4Windows, notifying you that a patient has arrived at the practice. And with this as well, you can set up for an SMS to be sent to the client, welcoming them to the practice, possibly giving them an e-form to fill out while they wait. And it will also notify the practitioner who the patient is there to see that they have arrived at the practice as well. So it's one of those things just to help your receptionist if they're serving another client or if they are in another room in the surgery, helping with something else. It just allows your workflow at the front desk as patients are arriving to move more smoothly. So as I mentioned, there's the patient forms that we have, which are our e-forms, and our e-forms are they are able to be tailored to the practice's needs. So for example, at the moment we have COVID that's affecting a lot of the practices, and you may want to know send out a pre-screening form for your client before they come into the practice. So you can send those via SMS to make sure that if the client has come in contact with a person who has COVID or is displaying any symptoms, that you can screen that before they come into the practice. So at the top there, you can see an SMS, welcome to our practice. As a new patient, you can fill out a form. So you can also send out your new patient forms, update medical history and that pre-screening form before they come into the practice. Or if you are putting time between your patients, you can definitely have them fill out the form at the practice as well. So they can do that on a tablet device at the practice, and you would be able to generate an access code, which you can see on the bottom part of that screen. When you generate the access code with eForms, it does pre-fill the form out for the client with the Dental4Windows fields that are already filled out at the practice. So things like your surname, first name, address, email, phone number, medical history, all of those types of things can be pre-filled into your new patient form or your medical history form. And then the client just has to, the patient just has to go through and check those details and update them. So no matter which way you do it, if you send that to them to do at home or at the practice, once they press submit, that form will then update the Dental4Windows patient profile and save a PDF copy into the document manager. So other uses for eForms can include the Child Dental Benefit Scheme, and that is approved by the Department of Health for use in eForms. You can also do patient surveys, consent forms, and treatment plan acceptance, which Linda will go through in a little bit as well. So yeah.
What I really like as well about the form, it's misspelling. How often you see how you write Jen, 3 different ways, where giving the patient to actually write their own information, you are avoiding that, misspelling or, let's say email address and so on. So if they actually fill in their own form, then, unlikely they're going to spell the name incorrectly, which I think it's just good. It's just minimize error within the software, help the admin staff to have everything entered for them.
That's correct. And yeah, like Anna said, it's the One Support team, and they also help with our eForms clients as well.
Yeah, with the eForms, we in appointments as well, we have a whole videos to support you to put those forms together, and also we have consulting. I believe that slide, it's me, Rebecca, so I'll keep talking.
Yep.
So patient arrived. So we've always had the e-chat in the software. So if you don't, it's just a general setting under the location setup, general tab, under the communications drop-down list, under the groups, you're gonna have e-chat. So when you turn on e-chat, it's a communication that you can have between computers with people that are logged in. So if I'm logged in with my details in this computer and Rebecca is at the back room logged in with her details, we can be sending messages between those computers. You can create groups as well. So you can say, oh, I want to put groups. There will be all receptionists or all dentists, that when I'm sending in a message to all dentists, they are logged in will get the message. So that it's more for, quite big dental practices. Small to medium size, you just sending a message to a person. So this is a feature that has been around for a long time. Then what we introduced was patient arrived, that when this system, when on the reception you arrive the patient by right click on the appointment and arrive the patient, as you can see there on my image, the provider that it's logged in will get a pop-up saying your patient has arrived. Okay, and with that we created new feature or an enhancement of this feature, that you can, when you activate the patient arrived, you can set up so the system would recognize to pick up the provider from the provider on the drop-down list on the patient's appointment, on the appointment book, or the link between appointment book and providers under the providers tab. Okay, we can say, okay, I'm only want to send for providers that are online, but I can also exclude providers. So if I like to get the pop-up coming up, but Rebecca doesn't, then we can exclude her from receiving those pop-up messages. With the message, it's just a pop-up if you want to, but if you have actually sound, if you have speakers on your computer, then you also get a little noise to say that you got a new message. Okay, so that is, I really liked. If you guys don't have that turned on, go ahead and turn that on. I think it's just a good way to, you see that the new patient has arrived, especially if your reception is far away from the surgery where you can't hear if the patient has arrived. So that it's a good way for you to know. Then we have patient education in practice advertise. So this is a product that we have within the Centaur portfolio, and it's called Explain TV. So when your patient is sitting on the reception, looking at you on the reception, you want them to be looking at promotions that you do, or advertising, something. Usually you have newspapers or you would have magazines on the reception, but why not to have actually advertising about your practice? And this is where the Explain TV comes on board, where you can put images, you can put videos of your practice, information about COVID, information about promotions that you're doing. We're gonna go, it's coming to December, we're gonna close for 2 weeks. You'd put that information here. So you'd have those videos playing on a TV on your reception. So you're entertaining your patients, but also educating them, and also advertising, using that as advertising tool. Okay, and here I just put, very quickly what the Explain TV is and some of the videos that comes with, but of course you can just do your own. So let's say you had, you had Christmas, team building, or you guys have done some donation or volunteer work or anything like that, you just take the photo, put it here, or a little video and put it here, and then they would keep playing on the TV on your reception. I do have a client that they are on a shopping center, so they have Explain TV, but they have actually on a TV on the window because they want that to be on the window as people walking, walking up and down on the corridors at the Westfield. So you can use different ways. Okay, so that is Explain TV, and that is when your patient is still on the reception, sitting there waiting. Then we have the clinical. So we're going to talk about chair side education tools, then a little bit about case presentation, treatment plan tracking, and quotations and payment plans. Okay, and remember, what we're trying to do on this webinar, it's a little bit of the patient journey with the products that we offer within Centaur software, and and the products that you have within Dental4Windows or linked to Dental4Windows. And here it's patient education, which is our Explain. And while I'm talking, I'm going to play the video. So you can see you have different type of videos there. Those videos here or on the Explain TV, there is no sound. So you don't need to be listening to the same thing over and over. It's just an image in the videos that would come. With this one, you would have the patient with you already, okay? That is when you're explaining the patient a procedure, and that it's linked with your chart. So when you open that, you go straight into the patient's file. You can save, you can email, you can print to the patient. I really like the videos here for especially kids, how to floss and brush. But then you have things like implants and root canals that people don't understand really what's going to happen. Why do you need 3 visits? Why it's that expensive? So you can use those videos to really educate your patient. And then also within Explain TV, you have leaflets, which are leaflets about procedures. And then from here, you can put your logo, you can put your address, you can modify if you need to. You don't need to have the information that it's here. So if you want to put your own words, you can put that as well, no problem. But we have quite a few leaflets here for you guys to provide to your patients. Let me get the next slide. And now we're still talking about patient education and the patient journey, and case presentation is so important. I did not long ago a webinar on ways to present a treatment plan, and I would say maybe 10% of the clients that attended the webinar knew about case presentations. In our webinars, we're getting around 60 to 120 people attended these webinars, just depending what they are, but they've been extremely popular. And to have only 10% of people knowing about this feature scares us, because this is available in Dental4Windows. It's not an extra module. You don't need to pay for it. So why not to utilize that as much as you can? My client, Natalie, Sheree, I think I have 2 Natalies, and both I think are from Victoria. So both Natalies, so everyone, I'm saying for Victoria because you guys probably have extra time in your hands at the moment. Please go to eSupport, which I'm going to show you guys, and have a look at the video on case presentation and start creating case presentations. Because you can create just the shelf, and then you use depending which presentation you're doing, which procedure you're trying to sell. So you could, instead of just printing a normal treatment plan, which sometimes you do, but you can do a proper treatment plan. So if you're doing Invisaligns, implants, ortho, all those type of procedures should be presented under case presentation. Okay, and that it's just an example where you can put your 3D scale on the case presentation. I put as well, and it's quite full here, but it's just to give you an idea of how much you can put on a case presentation. So with the case presentation, it's not just about the treatment items and the fees. Okay, it's about presenting them why they should be doing the procedure and what's going to happen with the procedure. So we're going to do a crown. This is how many appointments we're going to need for the crown. This is how this is, what can happen if the crown is not success, or if the gum didn't accept the implant. Whatever it is, you want to make these a proper case presentation. Okay, so keep an eye on the e-support towards the end, and there is a video on case presentation on how to create a whole full template for it. Okay, so just something that I want to mention to you guys. And now we're going to treatment plan that is with Linda. So she's going to talk about treatment plan. Go for Linda.
No problems. So presenting the treatment plans, obviously the biggest thing we wanted to do. We really need to have the patients really understanding the reason they need the treatment, because that's our biggest draw card, is that they don't usually understand the importance. As Anna said, that's where case presentations come in, where they can understand the importance of their treatment. So once we've got them to understand that they need the treatment, the next thing they're going to look at is, how can I finance this? And this is where you need to have the flexible payment options available in your practice. So this is why we've now got National Dental Plan. For all of those who don't know what our National Dental Plan is, it's a payment plan system. So this enables the patient to get the treatment but then pay it off in installments. So the buy now, pay later option that they have available for them. And the beauty that we have is that we've had this integrated in Dental4Windows. So it's already set there. So once you sign up for National Dental Plan, we turn all those features on and they come available. And what it does, as you can see on my screen here, we've got a treatment plan, but at the bottom of the plan, we've got the payment plan option there. So it's given the patient an overview of what it will entail to do the payment plan. So essentially for them, they're going to look at it. Their biggest draw card will be no interest ever, but they'll be looking at the fortnightly payments to see whether they can afford it. So by having this payment plan at the bottom of your treatment plan, it's sort of being a bit of advertising for you, and it's actually selling itself, because we all know we're very great at our dentistry, but we're not the greatest when it comes to wanting to talk about finance. We're a little bit more nervous about it. So by having something that's presented at the bottom of your treatment plan, this enables the patient to sort of, oh, gee, that's aware, and that's something I can take on board. And then I can afford to go down that track. From that point, once they decide, yeah, I can afford that, because the payment plan at the bottom of the treatment plan is just a quote giving them a guideline. We can go a little bit further with the tools that we have available in Dental4Windows to actually streamline that payment plan to suit the patient a little bit better. And what I mean by that is, with the payment plan, you can present it to a new treatment plan like we have here, and they may want to finance everything on that treatment plan, but they may not. They may have aspects of that treatment plan. They go, yeah, you know what, I can afford that. I just wasn't really expecting this. So for example, they may have had 3 fillings and a crown. They go, well, I knew the fillings were going to be okay, but it's the crown I want to finance. They can just finance that particular part of the payment plan. So they've got flexibility, and so do you. And the beauty of having it integrated into Dental4Windows is we do a lot of the work for you. You don't have to sit there and trying to figure out the mathematics of it, because that's all we don't particularly like. It does it for you to give you those, fortnightly payments. It makes life so much easier for the team. But also too, when you want to look at this payment plan at the bottom of your treatment plan, like I said, use it as a form of advertising, because it sits there, and like with everything, I always say, you plant little seeds for your patients to make them aware of things. This is one of those. They may not be interested in doing the payment plan because no, they're beauties. They've got their teeth are all in good shape and they don't necessarily need a payment plan. But they could be sitting down the back fence having good old yarn with the neighbour at the back, and the neighbour says, "Oh, gee, I need new dentures, but I can't afford it." "Oh, you should go to my dentist. I just noticed, today that they've got a payment plan. This might be something that you're suitable for." So it gives you those options that you have available. But the key factor by having this payment plan available in the practice, it does give that flexibility and a range of payment options that you have in your practice, so enabling your patients the better opportunity to accept their treatment.
I think I have a little slide on accepting here for you, Linda.
Fantastic. So now the beauty of all of this is we want to get patients to accept their treatment. So once again, I'm going to force this issue. We explain what the treatment is. Once we've done that, and they're so excited then about doing their treatment, and they go, "Yeah, I can't wait to get started." Great, you can then get them to sign the treatment plan. This enables them to sort of consent to that treatment plan there, and as you can see, we've got the signature there for them. Now, this can be printed out in a hard copy that you can present with your treatment plan, with your explain brochures you had in your case presentation that we've just spoken to, in a lovely little folder that they can go home, read about it all, say, "Yeah, I'm really onto it," sign it, and then can bring it back to the practice. Or if they can sign it at the practice as they wish. But if you guys have got e-forms, this is also available on e-forms. So you've got the ability to present the treatment plan just like we have here. It'll appear on your e-forms. You've got National Dental Plan. It will appear at the bottom of the treatment plan as well, just as you have here. And your patient can sign it by e-forms. So therefore, you don't have to then be printing it out, scanning it back into your computer. It's here, and by signing e-forms, it'll get populated and put into your documents manager, just where you would if you were scanning it. So just saves that time frame. But it's available. And even if the patient even decided to wanted to go home and think about it, you can say, "Okay, think about the trip," and then when they come in the next day and say, "Yeah, I want to think about it," you can then get them to sign it the next day. It doesn't necessarily have to be signed the day that they're in the practice. It may be that they may need to give them a chance to think about it. They don't want to be felt like they're pressured to sign for the treatment. But when they come back, you say, "Oh, just read this and see what you find. And next time you come in, we can sign off before we start the treatment." So that's your option that you have available for your treatment plan acceptance.
And something as well, guys, for you to have in mind is you don't need to give that to everyone. So this is an on and off button. If you say, "I don't want to have that displaying on the treatment plan for this patient for whatever reason," you can just turn off. Isn't Linda? They don't need to have that all the time. But the importance of you guys having a payment plan option at your practice, it's because you don't want the patient to go next door and finance with the neighbor because you guys don't have anything to offer them. Okay, that is my view, that we have finance and get them to finish the treatment with you. You already spend the time creating your case presentation, presenting them on why they need to have their treatment plan. You don't want them to go and shop around and go with somebody else because you don't know, you don't offer a payment plan in the practice. So this is something that, Linda, I think you discussed a little bit later about follow-up on treatment plan.
Correct.
But that is something for you guys to be in mind. Checked out. So we're going to talk a little bit about reappointing and pre-booked. So how can all that flow within Dental4Windows and of course with our automation system. And I think Rebecca will talk about that, and I'll have a few words here and there, but it's really important that you guys, if you haven't automated your system, that you guys look into it. Okay, you don't want to be wasting time and wasting stuff, resource time to be doing things that the software could be doing for you. So we'll be looking on automated appointment to SMS. Then options of fee collection, satisfaction survey, care instructions, reminders, which is all part of our automation. And within payment options, and again, so the patient, had made an appointment online, then they came in, they checked themselves in, they did their own new patient form or update the medical history themselves. Then we brought the patient into the practice, we've treated the patient, we created a case presentation, we educated them with Explain TV, we gave them options of how they can pay, and now they're going to pay, and these are the payment options that we have linked with Dental4Windows. So high caps, which I'm sure the majority of our clients have the link with high caps, but we have also now the link to Charo and ANZ, and they're all different in terms of price links, I should say, but also it's a health fund system to claim. So it's something for you guys to question, to check, what they can do and how they would work. And yeah, just think about it, that we do have the integration with Taro, ANZ. And of course, we have National Dental Plan, which is a payment options, which Linda already mentioned. And I think that will go with you now, Rebecca.
Thanks, Anna. So now we're going to look at our reminders. So your patient's been to the practice, they may have pre-booked their appointment, so you want to look at the reminders that you're going to send out to them. We also have our recall reminders. So if they didn't book and you want to remind them that they are due back at the practice for their checkup and clean, we can do those. You'll also be looking at incomplete treatment plans and automated debtors messaging as well. So with Dental4Windows, we are able to fully automate our recall reminders. So within the program, you can set up to send out your recall reminders monthly, weekly, daily, or however often that you would like to do them, and have them set up for them to work and suit your practice's needs. With our recall system, we are able to use the Dental4Windows marketing templates. So with those templates, there are a lot of different options that are available. So you can suit a template that will suit your practice's needs and aesthetic. Okay, with your automation, you'll want to, with Dental4Windows marketing and within Dental4Windows itself, you can send them out through a multi-channel approach. So you can do it through email, through printed personalized mail, postcards, SMS, and if you still use phone calls and those sorts of things, you can produce those lists as well within Dental4Windows to make those calls. So as I said before, Dental4Windows is customizable for your practice, so you can put in your logos, your maps, your contact information. You can also include any, with your recalls in particular, you can include a link to your online appointments so that the patient can book now direct from your email or SMS. And you can also put in links for your e-forms or any electronic forms that you want to send out to the client as part of your recall message.
Something with recalls as well, that I've been listening to a lot of webinars throughout this, the last 4 months, especially. And if you hear any of the webinars, everyone is saying, one, you need to do a multi-channel communication. You cannot just be sending SMS or letter or postcard. You need to do a mix of communications methods. So that is one. But with SMS, an email, we've seen a drop of patients actually coming back from those two methods. And this is why we're really pushing for printing, because printing is back in big time, because everyone is at home. Everyone is at home, and your inboxes are full of messages and advertisings. And when people read, COVID or whatever it is, they're not even opening those emails. So going back to the old fashioned postcards and letters and print, it's definitely what we're recommending. And I believe we're doing a webinar in October with DMM, which is the company that support us on this product, to talk about that, how is just printing its back in big time, because especially now that everyone is at home. So you're at home, you check your mailbox, and your communication is getting through. So I think it's really important for us for you guys to really review your methods of communications with your patient. Is that right? Do you agree with that, Rebecca? Is that
Yeah, I do. And I think because Dental4Windows marketing opens up, it's not just about recalls, we have the template for back to the practice now, with some states opening up and coming out of restrictions, that type of communication, or a Christmas communication, or end of year specials, or end of year health funds, that type of communications. They're opening up new avenues for patients to be invited back to the practice. And for people who are of the millennial age, where they're mid-30s and younger, it's not something that they've particularly experienced before, because they've grown up in such a technology world where they do get emails and SMSs about everything. To personalize some mail for them is quite novel, and it's just a new way of getting your message across and cutting through that online and technology-based communication with your clients. So it's just a new way, and it's becoming more and more effective with now that everyone is being bombarded by emails from everybody.
100%. I think it's me again. No, it's Linda. Linda, it's you.
Great. So we're following up on our treatment plans into complete. Now, to start, before I start, what I'm about to say, you really do need to be creating treatment plans for us to utilize the features that we have in Dental4Windows. And the beauty of following up on treatment plan incompletes, and I often been told, why do you want to follow up on incomplete treatment plans? Well, one, it's a duty of care. You need to reassure and follow up with patients that they are aware that they need to continue their treatment. Because we do such a good job when they come in for their emergency treatment or whatever they do for that fix, and they feel good and they think, oh great, it's good, I don't need to come back. But don't understand that possibly that's only for an interim period. They need to have that feeling last for a longer period. They need to have the treatment done. So they might feel that it's done and therefore don't see this sense of the importance of coming back for their treatment. So that's that duty of care. But also from a practice perspective, it is revenue that you've got sitting in your database. So there's just treatment just sitting there waiting to fill up your appointment book with incomplete treatments. So this is where we've got those facilities in Dental4Windows now for you to analyze in your database what is happening by having a treatment plan analyst there. And what this actually does, and you can have this sort of set up, to be done automatic, but what it does with analysts, it'll let you know how many new treatment plans you have, how many of those are being completed, and then incomplete treatment plans in a certain time period. You can select a certain time period to which you want to assess and see in that period what those are. So then you can look at it. And it's a good way of analysing it to say, okay, you know what? I'm doing X number of new treatment plans, but no, I'm only getting a small number completed. What's missing? Maybe do we need to have a case presentation being presented with our treatment plans? Do we need to explain TV to explain the procedure so people see the importance of having the treatment and taking on that treatment plan? Or do we need to have national dental plan because we need that payment options available? So these are the things that you'll be looking at and comparing to see how you're going with your treatment plan. Then you also got the ability to look at the treatment status, and this one is where you can have it automated, where it can say, okay, when have you presented it? So once you've presented your treatment plan to your patient, you can have it set up so that once you've printed it, it comes out saying being presented. You can have it where they've accepted it. You can have it where they've rejected it. And where you've completed. So you can see that process as well. But also the beauty with setting up your treatment plans is that you can have alternative treatment. So you know how you give options to patients, because you do need to give them the benefit of the different treatments available, and they'll pick that treatment on different reasons that they have available, and it not necessarily is always money related. They might do it on time constraints. I'm going to do this because this is a quicker option for me than this status. So you will be able to see all that, and you have those alternatives there. So once they picked one, you can actually have one that's saying, okay, being rejected, but you can then see a flow of which options are being presented. And so you can see that there. So it's very clear. You can see what's happening in your practice. And then what you can also do is run these queries, incomplete treatment plan query. This enables you to get a list of those patients that have incompletes that you need to follow up. My biggest key when you're running this particular query is getting those patients and then assessing, why we need to follow them up and what treatment they haven't done, and then giving the patient a call. Now, ideally, I always think the dentist is always the great one to follow up on incompletes. And I know everyone's shivering their shoes. Go, oh no, I feel like I've got to sell it to them. No, how you do it is you're going to ring up with your concern of saying, oh, I asked you for this incomplete treatment. I'm just a little concerned because I told you that there was a bit of a crack, and I'm really concerned that if you let it go for too much longer, you could lose the tooth. So you're just reinforcing what you've already said in the surgery, but you're probably following up as this incomplete. And the beauty of these incompletes, though, with our National Dental Plan, is if one of the reasons that they haven't finished, maybe it's the classic example we have at the moment. Maybe we had to postpone their treatment in March. We'll just grab our Victorians, because I know you're probably in this predicament at the moment, had to postpone their treatment in March because we'd gone down to level 2 restrictions and we could do very little, but then we opened up. And now you're following up on those people to bring them back. Their life circumstances may have changed, so a payment plan may be suitable. So this is where you can still offer National Dental Plan even with incomplete treatment. So you've got that option there available for you as well. But essentially, the whole idea of looking at following up incomplete treatment plans, I think, is vital for you to do the duty of care, follow through, and by Joe's, get more revenue into the practice as well.
Beautiful. Thank you, Linda. And then we have one or two last slides, and here it's which is taken from Linda's on follow-up on your treatment plan, but you can also follow up on your datas. And with your datas, you can even use National Dental Plan to follow up on your datas. Am I right, Linda?
You're absolutely correct.
Beautiful. So you can use National Dental Plan to follow up on your datas, but it's important that you keep these as low as you can. Okay, you can use the automation feature to send reminders automatically to those patients that owes money, but you're just going to need to have also some type of manual workflow, because for those patients that you have ortho or Invisalign where they're paying per month, you want to make sure they're not getting reminded that they owe you $8,000 where they only owe you $200 this month. Okay, so for those, you're going to need to be careful a little bit, but this is something that we discuss with you guys in a training session, or even if you attend on one of the webinars specific for the area. Okay, everyone is being very quiet. I'm scared if you guys are actually listening, or you guys are not listening, or you have questions, or it's too much. Please send us any questions that you have, because everyone is very quiet and I don't know why they're quiet. I get scared. Can everyone still listen? Everyone is hearing us. So last and not least is our e-support, and I've mentioned about e-support throughout the webinar. So e-support, it's like our Google for Dental4Windows. This is for all our clients that are on support and upgrade contract. For this webinar specific, we open for everyone, but usually our webinars are only for clients that are on support and upgrade contract as well. But I'll show you what these lovely platform will do, which I'm just going to drag here. So I said about to have a look at case presentation, for example. So if you come here and you type case presentation, you're going to have a video on case presentation, and then you can start building your templates with the help of the video. So if you don't have e-support set up yet, at the end, I'm just gonna ask a few questions and you guys can say, yes, I don't have e-support, and we would send the reactivation email for you guys as well. But it's a really good platform to you know, have a look at the videos, new features. Also, you know, you have a new staff member. So just make sure you're utilizing this platform as much as you can. If you go to your Dental4Windows, up the top where it says help menu, you're gonna have e-support, and there is a link straight to this website. Okay, if you don't have Dental4Windows, let's say you're at home and you don't have Dental4Windows there, then you can just type e-support.centorsoftware.com. You would put the login and password, and you can be doing a little bit of training at home. Okay. While we are here, and I know that we have one or two questions, I'm just going to bring some polls for you guys to put up for us to answer. If you can, will be great. With these, we did a very overview of different products. If you guys want a demonstration, please just put it here and we'll get someone to do the demonstration for you. That it's not a wholesale point, it's nothing. It's just if you're interested to see the product a little bit more. Okay, so I just launched that poll, so if you guys can answer that to me, it would be great. There is a question. Let me get here. Mary said, no, all good. I have that. I don't. Yep, it's fantastic. Someone is asking, can I have a demonstration on Explain? Of course you can. So if you just put it here that you want to have a demonstration on Explain, our solution team, they'll give you a call and we'll show you how, you know, what it is and how that works and how that integrates with Dental4Windows, which I think it's a good way to just, what does Centor Software as a company can offer, what they can offer to me. Okay, the same with e-appointments. Have a look at people around you. Have a look at your competitors. Do they have e-appointments? Do they have some type of online booking system? Does that mean that people that need, you know, dentists will go to them because they can just book online? So just things for you guys to do your research will be great. Any questions? Why I'm doing this, Linda and Rebecca, please just keep up with the questions if we have any.
Keeping an eye for you, Anna. No problems.
Beautiful. How much do I pay for the NDP? So to install NDP, and Linda, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
So that comes with Dental4Windows. You don't pay anything to install, to have National Dental Plan installed in your software, but you would pay for the plans, and you would pay for, and then the patient would pay for how much is the plan. Linda, please correct me. You are
Yes.
the National Dental Plan guru.
Yeah, well, with National Dental, I'm not the sales side of things, but I've got an overview. The patient, pays, there's no interest for them, but from a practice perspective, you do need to pay a fee, because we take the responsibility of, we give you the money, you can do what you have to do, but we take the responsibility then to follow it through, and it's all determined on how much the patient borrows. So you'll pay a percentage on what they borrow and how long they take to do that term. Our sales teams are very good at explaining that, but there's definitely no cost for setting up, monthly fees. You're just paying as the patient does an application.
Yeah, and what I would recommend is tomorrow at 2 p.m. there is a recording of the National Dental Plan webinar that was held with Rebecca James, who is the CEO of Flexi Group and looks after HUM, and she gives a lot more information on how National Dental Plan works and some of the fees involved as well. So you can watch that webinar that will be sent to your inbox tomorrow, and that may give you some more information as well on that.
Beautiful. So we would send that with the follow-up email. Can you
yes,
send the
I
link?
can.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
I can send that as well.
I think it's a good idea. So
Yeah.
on the follow-up email, we'll just put the recording of the video.
Yeah.
Is D4W Explain and Marketing add-ons, or it's free? So it's an extra module. So, and again, we are not doing this sales, so I have no idea of price or anything. With D4W Marketing, Beck, you might know a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure on the pricing for Dental4Windows marketing. What I do know is the promotion that's running at the moment is the first month free when you sign up for a 6-month contract with Dental4Windows marketing. And with that, you do also get access to a campaign manager as well for your practice. So if you want to go through and you'll sit with them, the campaign manager, and look at what marketing activities you want to do over the next 6 months. And that can include your recall setup, the automation setup for your recalls, and all of those sorts of things as well. And that way you'll have a 12-month marketing plan for your practice, which will take away some of that pressure of the practice actually creating that plan themselves. But Natalia, definitely if you did want to know pricing on those, I can definitely take down a note and send it through to our solution specialists so that they can go through how that program works, and also the costs involved with that.
Yeah, beautiful. Yes, no problem. We'll send it over. And again, I'm like this now. Does not cost me to ask for information. Does not cost you to ask for a quote. So please, if you want to know, how it works, we are happy to do a demonstration on any of the products. If you want a quote, that's fine. Doesn't mean that you need to sign, but I think it's important that everyone is well informed of the products that we offer and what you could be doing within your software and your company, how you can grow. So please just take the time to do it. You're welcome, Elise. You needed to run? No problem. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. We're going to keep doing more webinars for everyone. I think it's important to keep the staff motivated and well educated. So thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Linda, for joining me in this webinar. And we'll see everyone again.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Be safe.